Hi, I'm new here. I'm Bazamble. My name's Felix, but my friends call me Thief. I recently joined my cousin and a friend who had started playing PvE Escape from Tarkov. I was reluctant at first because of the immense perceived skill barrier to entry that I'd heard Escape from Tarkov has. However, PvP proved to be the perfect middle ground for me to get hooked on the systems and gameplay loops that Tarkov has to offer, without having things like this happen to me. I've been playing the game for a little over a month, and it has been the single most addictive thing I've touched in a while. All I do after work is play this game now. A month ago, I was on track to hit Grandmaster in TFT for the first time in my life, and I completely ditched that grind at D1 to facilitate my newly found Tarkov addiction. And let me tell you why this might be. When I was a kid, all I did was play World of Warcraft. I've probably played more World of Warcraft than most of my other games accumulated hours combined. Yeah, that's probably a complete exaggeration. The memories and friends that game gave me will forever be dear to me and cherished in my heart. I dropped the game for a bit after becoming an adult, but took it back up when Battle for Azeroth hype was at its peak. I then promptly ended my relationship with Retail WoW as soon as Classic launched. My friends and I played all the way up till Burning Crusade Phase 2, and then one by one we fizzled out to real life obligations. Rest in peace, Existential Crisis. I'll never forget y'all. But I digress.
Are we rushing in, or are we going sneaky beaky like?
Having played the game since Source days, Global Offensive was the next thing to scratch that itch after the end of my days in Azeroth. But that wasn't it. Sure, learning recoil, positionings, timings, how and where to chuck nades has some carryover into EFT, but what I think the real catalyst for my Tarkov addiction came after CS days. Rust has been my retreat for when the gang wants to get together and play a wipe. It's always lax, light-hearted, fun, and ultimately inconsequential. We're essentially just here for a good time. Most of the time.
I wasn't out that side, I was by Khalil's base. I mentioned I was by the base, I'm by his body now.
It still took way too
What's
long.
Dude, I hit him!
Is he gone?
I think so.
Fuck me, man. Also, come on, guys. Like, you literally had time to full loot me.
I was on the opposite side of the base.
Oh my god. Oh, it's still Matt. Like you. I got a bitch.
Since picking up the game somewhere between 2016 and 2017, I've amassed over 4,000 hours in the game, which I know has prepared me a little bit for the Escape from Tarkov experience. And here's why. I've had to toil at the game to get to the place I am now. Countless hours of grinding just to get it all taken away is a feeling very familiar to me. Going out and finding something epically crucial to your progression, and then the cold sweats running it home, oh so homely a feeling. And it's moments like these that make them oh so worth it. Holy shit. There it is, dude.
Good. And you go on, man.
This, I think, is what has made my time in Tarkov so enjoyable. It feels like home, even without the... I still feel enough of that rush with the AI PMCs head-eyesing me, having the goons rush my ass, or hearing the intimidating, deep, monstrous bellowing of the single scariest sounding thing I've ever encountered in Tarkov. To me, the feeling of Rust is heavily mimicked by the feeling of Tarkov. I'm always vulnerable, my decisions are what are going to get me killed, and ultimately, survival of the fittest. There might be a player with more hours, a bigger gun, better strats, or more armor than me, but that's okay because of the cyclical nature of the game, makes it so that at some point I will be that player. I will experience what I was once on the tail end of. I think that keeps us all going after that one uber depressing moment of. Getting into the space, naturally I've been recommended some content to consume. One of my mainstays has been Tulu. I still love watching Frost's Rust videos, even when I'm not playing the game so much anymore, and so Lou's cinematic styling has been cozy and very enjoyable to consume, same as Frost's. This brings me to Tulu's My Addiction to PvE Tarkov video. I was super stoked to watch this one. As a newcomer to the game, I was intrigued to see what a veteran of the game had to say about PvE. I only want to address a couple points he made at the end about the lack of struggle in PvE, so if you're interested in what PvE Tarkov is really about, go check out his video for yourself. I think it's a great perspective overall, and I really am just nitpicking one or two of his points. Additional disclaimer, the video is at this point 10 months old, and a lot may have changed since then. I wouldn't know because I've been here for... yeah. Sorry if anything I say is out of whack. The one thing I want to touch on is how he pushes for the ideal that the struggle isn't real in PvE, and that doesn't represent the game. I think that my struggle is my struggle, regardless of how it measures up to the struggles of other people. Some people aren't gifted with radical PvP montageable skill sets, and so they seek solace in things like PvE and narrative-driven games to get away from the stressy sweatiness of competition. However, having a bridge from one to another is a major stepping stone that not a lot of people have the privilege of experiencing in their respective video games. In my opinion, PvE is the only way to get hesitant people, like me, to at least try the game in the first place, because otherwise it would simply be too daunting for them. Now, when I join the PvP hardcore wipe this month, Lord help me, I'll at least be able to figure out my bearings on the maps, find quest items, know where and what to loot, and know a couple cheeky rotates for when it comes in handy and I won't be running around like a headless chicken, at least for some of the time. Bringing it back to Rust, there's a lack of a bridge like this, and even the Rust devs are working on implementing a sort of tutorial island for players who are completely foreign to the game, or even the survival genre, where it's more than just killing your opponent that keeps you alive. I'm not even going to touch on WoW's tutorial island, retail's dead to me. One gripe Tulu had with the concept of PvE was the idea that PvPers will move over because it's easier. I'd love to see the player numbers for both servers over the last months of PvE being a thing to see how many players have moved from PvE long term, but I would think that most of the decent PvPers would get bored pretty quick and go right back to fighting players, because at the end of the day, those people just like to shit on other real people. It's just their thing. And people that might not have the best time playing PvP Tarkov are the ones that might move long term for a more enjoyable experience for them. But let's be real, you aren't going to miss those people in your PvP lobbies unless you're a psychopath that takes pride in killing people vastly less skilled than yourself. And so I say let us. Let us Timmies that start out in PvE make our way over to PvP when we are comfortable with the basics, and let the doomers that are tired of getting play PvE if they want to have a more enjoyable experience. Ultimately, I don't perceive a loss to anyone unless PvP completely dies because nobody wants to share real players anymore, aka never. Peace.
Yeah, be dead. Yeah, be dead. Take a fucking grenade while you're at it. Whoa, what? There's no way! That just happened, dude!
Bounce back, are you alive?
Yo, thanks for watching my take on things. I'll be playing the hardcore wipe over on twitch.tv/Basamble. So if you're interested in a PvE's first time experience in PvP and I guess hardcore, I'll be over there as much as I can from about 8 PM Central European. So come say hey. Peace.